Senator William "Bill" Harrington had spent his entire career cultivating an image of honesty and family values. Married to his high school sweetheart, Margaret, and father to 2 grown children, he was seen as the embodiment of the American dream. But behind the polished smile and unwavering handshake, Bill was living a dangerous double life, one that would lead to murder, an elaborate cover-up, and the ultimate downfall of one of the most respected men in Washington. It all began at a high-profile fundraiser in Washington, D.C., attended by the city's political elite. Among the well-dressed donors, lobbyists, and power players was Vanessa Ruiz, a stunning 28-year-old woman whose presence commanded attention. She was there on the arm of a wealthy donor, her laughter ringing through the room like a melody. Bill noticed her immediately, and when their eyes met, an unspoken understanding passed between them. That night, under the guise of an extended meeting, he checked into a luxury hotel, his wedding ring stuffed deep in his pocket, and lost himself in Vanessa's arms. What was supposed to be a one-time mistake quickly spiraled into a months-long affair. Bill became reckless. He wired Vanessa money through shell accounts, met her in expensive hotels, and whispered promises he never intended to keep. But Vanessa wasn't content with being a hidden indulgence. She wanted more. She wanted the security and status that came with being by a powerful man's side, not just in secret, but in the open. As the months passed, her demands grew more intense. She wanted Bill to leave his wife, to make their relationship public. When he refused, she threatened him. She had messages, recordings, and even a private video of them together, proof that could destroy his career, his family, and everything he had built. Panicked, Bill turned to his longtime chief of staff, Rick Devlin. Rick had spent over a decade managing Bill's scandals before they could ever reach the public. But this was different. Vanessa was volatile, and the stakes were too high. Bill begged Rick to handle it, to make the problem go away. 1 week later, Vanessa Ruiz vanished. Vanessa had told a close friend she was meeting someone that night, a powerful man who had promised her a financial settlement to keep quiet. She left her apartment in Georgetown dressed in an elegant black coat, stepping into the darkness without knowing it would be her last night alive. 2 days later, a jogger discovered her body in a wooded area near the Potomac River. She had been strangled, her body carefully placed beneath a bed of leaves. The murder sent shockwaves through the city, but investigators had few leads. Initially, they suspected a client, but the case remained cold, until Vanessa's friend came forward. She provided text messages suggesting Vanessa was meeting someone powerful the night she died. The police traced Vanessa's financial records and found transactions leading back to an offshore account connected to one of Bill's shell companies. Then Rick Devlin disappeared. Bill's chief of staff, the man who had orchestrated his cover-ups for years, suddenly resigned and fled town. A week later, he was found dead in a Baltimore motel, a gunshot wound to the head. The official ruling was suicide. No note was left behind, only a bottle of whiskey and a gun. For a while, Bill thought he had escaped, but then came the voicemail. Forensic analysts recovered fragments of deleted messages from Vanessa's phone. They reconstructed a voicemail Bill had left her on the night she died. In it, his voice was trembling as he pleaded with her to be reasonable, to stop making threats. The last words sealed his fate. "You don't know what I'm capable of." The FBI arrested him days later, charging him with conspiracy to commit murder and obstruction of justice. But the case wasn't over. Investigators suspected that Rick Devlin's suicide wasn't what it seemed. An anonymous source, later revealed to be a junior staffer in Bill's office, came forward with shocking information. Rick had been panicked in the days before his death, telling colleagues he was in over his head and afraid for his life. Phone records showed that before his disappearance, Rick had several long conversations with a fixer known for handling problems for politicians. Digging deeper, the FBI discovered surveillance footage of an unknown man entering Rick's motel room the night he died. The man was later identified as Vince Moretti, an enforcer with ties to organized crime. Moretti had worked for powerful figures before, ensuring that people stayed silent permanently. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Moretti was arrested and charged with murder. Under pressure, he agreed to a deal. In exchange for a reduced sentence, he would testify that Bill Harrington had personally ordered Vanessa's murder and Rick Devlin's elimination. The trial became a national spectacle. Bill maintained his innocence, claiming that Vanessa had been blackmailing him and that Rick had acted alone. His defense team argued that Rick had hired Moretti without Bill's knowledge and that Bill had simply been trying to cover up an affair, not a murder. But the evidence was too damning. The financial transactions, the voicemail, and Moretti's testimony painted a chilling picture. The jury deliberated for less than a day before returning a guilty verdict. Bill Harrington was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His career, his family, and his reputation were in ruins. Margaret Harrington, humiliated by the scandal, filed for divorce and moved to Europe. Their children disowned him, changing their last names to escape the shame. The political world, once his domain, turned its back on him. In the years that followed, the case became a cautionary tale of power, corruption, and the deadly consequences of secrets. Bill, once one of Washington's most influential men, spent the rest of his days rotting in a prison cell, haunted by the ghosts of those he had betrayed. Man, this case is absolutely wild. A powerful senator, a secret affair, blackmail, murder. It's like something straight out of a political thriller, but it actually happened. The layers of deception, the desperate cover-up, and the way it all unraveled just shows how even the most powerful people can't escape the truth forever. What do you think? Was Bill always this corrupt? Or did the pressure of his double life push him over the edge? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more twisted true crime stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. The names, the details, and the sentences of this case are not real. These made-up scenarios allow us to explore suspenseful situations without exploiting real-life tragedies. Our goal is to create thought-provoking mysteries while respecting the privacy and dignity of real people. Thank you for watching, and let us know your thoughts below.